So in this lecture, we want to create our login page. If we take a look at our sign up page in here, the only difference the login page has with the sign up is that we won't have the sign up, the agree terms, and one of these two text boxes. So we go to the var www and then HTML in here, and we open a new file using the nano editor. Let's call it login.html. Now hit enter, or actually before we go, let me actually exit this. Now if we type ls, we have the sign up. So the thing that I want to do is to just copy the signup.html using the cp, which copies this file into the same directory with the name of login.html. Now we hit enter, we type ls. As you see, we have the login HTML in here. Also, I want to copy the sign.css into the login.css too, and we hit enter. We have created another file, login.css. What the cp does is that if the destination file is there, then it would copy all the contents in this file into the destination file. If there isn't any file as login.css, it would create a new file with this name. So now we open the login.css and we press Ctrl Shift and T, and we open the login.html in another terminal, and I just switch this. Okay, in here the modifications that we want to create are as follow. This sign up should be changed to login. This is the first thing that we need to do. The second one is that we want to create one of these two things. So if I press Ctrl K in here to cut the email, and then in here for the placeholder I say a slash and then email. So if we go to the browser and refresh it, so it is a login. Sorry, if we go back in here and press the login, so it doesn't know any login. So Ctrl X, we enter the index.html. You probably guessed the problem in here, like the sign up. We have named the login login.php. Right now I want to name it just login.html. Let's exit, enter the login.html again. Now we refresh the page, or let me just get back and press the login again. Okay, we should refresh it one time. Now I press login. As you see, we have entered the site which says enter the username or email and the password in here. So what we are going to do is to also delete the I agree terms. So in here we completely press Ctrl K to delete it. Now we won't have the agree terms in here, as you see. Next thing that we need to do is to do the modification in CSS for to convert everything from pixel to %. So if we look, the outer box for both text boxes is boxes. You see in here boxes. So in here the boxes are all in the %. So the boxes that we created has a width of 80%, which we explained. So it's in the % boxes. Next we go to the text in here, which are in the pixel. We said that the whole screen in here, from here to here, is almost 1000 pixels. We have assigned 80% of the width to the boxes, to the form in here. So if we look at the form, we have assigned the width is 50%. So it would be like 500 pixel, and then in here in the boxes we said that 80% of this 500 pixel, which would be 400 pixel, and we said I want this width to be 400 pixels. So what we have done so far is that we created a page, is that we have a box which is 100%. We have assigned 50% of that to our form, and 80% of this form for some boxes, and then we said in this box I want a text box of 400 pixels. In here what I'm going to do is that I want 80% of these boxes to be assigned to every checkbox, and also instead of 40%, let's say 20% to the height. Now if we save it and refresh it again, you see that nothing has happened. What is the reason? Oh yes, the reason is that we haven't included the login CSS in this file. When we copied it, we didn't change the href from sign to login. So in here we say login, we save it, and again we open the browser and refresh it. Now as you see, they become smaller, so we would like to just go in the CSS file and maybe make the texts, for example, the 100%, and in here let's say 50% for the height. Now if we refresh it, you see the height has been so big, so instead of 50 we would say 25%, and in here you just refresh it. It's still small, so let's say 35 maybe. If we refresh again, now it's better. If we open the browser in the Windows again and we refresh it, so the sign up HTML is the same thing, but if we go to the main page in here, so let me just restart the Apache service, Apache 2, restart, and we go to the browser, we refresh the page, we go to the login, and these are our boxes in here. That, as you see, it almost doesn't have any difference with the things in here. You see they are all the same thing. The space in here after the username and after the password are in the same amount in the Linux, because we have changed from the pixel to %. Now I think this is a good thing for the login page. Also, one more note that I want to point out is the login. If we look at the Kali Linux, it seems like the login is in the middle of the form, but in the Windows, as you see, it is not in the middle. Again, it's because of the same thing, that everything is in the pixel rather than the %. So what should we do? If we go for the login in here and have a look, it has the ID of title. You see this division has the ID of title. So in the CSS margin left, we have said that 180 pixel. What we are going to do instead, let's say for example 40% instead of pixel. Now if you go into our browser and just press refresh, and also in the Linux refresh the page, and this is our login page. As you see, now login is completely in the middle. Now you get the point how it has happened, because in the CSS file in here we said that the margin that we want for the title is 40% from the left side, and we have just calculated in our mind that the login itself has some width, so 40% from the left of this box, it would go somewhere in the middle. And also in the Linux it is the same thing, it's in the middle. So using the % for not only the width and the height, but even for the different margins would cause us to make sure that the code would be the same in all and every browsers. In the next lecture, finally we are going to get to the important parts of the course, which is creating the playing pages.